Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Aman, moderator for this conference. Welcome to the conference call of Make Money Organics Limited to discuss its foray into new variant of white pigment, titanium dioxide. The management of Make Money Organics Limited is represented by Mr. Ankit Patel, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Darshan Patel, Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Gurjant Singh Chahal, Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Bharat Modi, Investor Relations Advisors. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. At that time, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Ankit Patel. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Aman. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a chance to go through the presentation and the press release on our foray into new white pigment, titanium dioxide. Make Money Organics has strengthened its value-added proposition of its pigments division with its entry into white pigment, titanium dioxide. The company's foray into titanium dioxide is in line with our vision of creating sustainable growth in the pigment division beyond phthalocyanine pigment blue and green. If we talk of India's titanium dioxide production, then it is around 80,000 tons per annum, and the demand in India is currently about 250,000 tons, and it is growing at more than 4% CAGR. So India imports more than 80% of its titanium dioxide. Make Money's growth plan is aligned to the government's Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat vision, as titanium dioxide is an import substitute product. Make Money Organics will set India's largest titanium dioxide capacity at Dahej with the production capacity of 33,000 tons per annum. The company will incur total capex of nearly 400 crore, and it is expected to commence commercial production by Q1 FY24. The aforesaid project is likely to contribute approximately 700 crore to Make Money's top line on full year of operation basis. The company eyes an EBITDA of nearly 25% from this project. The project boasts high ROC and ROE to the tune of 20% plus each. Make Money Organics titanium dioxide project will be funded by a mix of internal accrual and debt. With this, I request the operator to open the floor for Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 at this time. Participants, if you wish to ask a question, please press star and 1 at this time. The first question is from the line of Rohit Nagraj from Emkay Global. Please go ahead. Rohit, your line is unmuted. You may please unmute your line and go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and congrats on foray into new segment. So if you could just give us a broader understanding about, you said that 80% of titanium dioxide is imported. So from which and all countries it is being imported? Is there any threat from China if, from the pricing perspective, Just to give a sense of the industry dynamics, and obviously it is an import substitute, so that logic certainly prevails. But sense on how the demand supply has been there in the domestic market, and how the growth rate has been from different segments. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohitji. Just first to answer, the major imports come from China, followed by USA, Australia, Mexico, Taiwan, various countries. Now, regarding the mainly the China factor issue, now there is no fear factor here, because the thing is, the raw material, the key raw material for this is a naturally occurring raw material. It's ilmenite ore. So be it China or India, we are at par as far as the raw material is concerned. So it is not going to make any impact. So, while we will be coming up with the project in India, in fact, we'll have an upper edge. As far as the demand is concerned, currently the demand is 250,000 tons, and the majority is being imported. There is an import duty of 11%. There is no anti-dumping duty as of now, but the duty for the imported titanium dioxide is around 11%. And if we talk about the application, the major application is into paints, coatings, which is about 60% market, plastic polymer about 25% market, and balance is with the other segments. And it is growing at more than 4% CAGR. So with such a high base, 4% CAGR growth is quite good growth. And it is also growing in the global market.
Right, got it. So the other question is in terms of ilmenite. So where are we going to source it from? Is it domestically available? And how the sourcing arrangement will be if it is not available domestically?
It is available both domestically as well as imported, and it is easily available. Currently also the players which are manufacturing in India, they are relying on both import as well as domestic. So availability of the raw material is not an issue.
Right, got it. And one last clarification in terms of technology for this. So is it in-house technology, or are we taking it from some other player?
So it is. We are already in touch with the technology supplier. We have already discussed with the technology supplier. So we are relying on the technology supplier.
Sure, got it. Thanks a lot, and best of luck. If I have any questions, I'll come back to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Subrata Sarkar from Mount Intra Finance. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, my question is like titanium dioxide, as you have explained, and we also know this is one of the key raw material for paint industry, and like there is a lot of demand for titanium dioxide, and most of them that is being imported for a very long time. So what is the reason that not much competition here? Number one, and second, Cochin Mineral I suppose have some capacity. I don't know whether it is same grade of that of us or not. So who are the current player who are producing in India? This is the second question, and if you answer this, then I will have a few other questions.
Sure. Thank you, Subrata. So you rightly mentioned that the Indian paint market is growing very well. In fact, large group like JSW and Grasim Birla Group, they are also entering into the paint segment. And they are investing, Grasim is investing 5,000 crore capex they are doing for the paint segment. They are going to commission in the FY23. So you can imagine the large corporates are also entering into such segments. So there is a very high growth in the domestic paints and plastic segment. They expect about 10 to 15% growth in this segment. So that is going to help titanium dioxide. Why nobody has entered into titanium dioxide project? That's a good question. The thing is, typically it comes under pigment. And in the pigment, for the conventional pigment like phthalocyanine pigment, azo pigment, there are small players. Most of them are not conventional players. They are relatively small who don't have capacity to invest heavily. This project is a high capex and a technology-oriented project. So that is why I think nobody thought of it going into till today. But we were, from the very beginning, we were eyeing this project, and at the right time, we are entering into this project when government is thinking Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat policy. So I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah. Sir, is there any current player, sir, as I mentioned, like is Cochin Mineral has relevant titanium dioxide or no?
There are currently 3 players in India which are actively manufacturing. One is a Kerala Minerals, one is a Travancore Titanium Products, and one is a VV Titanium Private Limited.
Okay.
And all of them are a public sector unit, government.
Okay. Sir, one question on the technology side. If I suppose you may not disclose the name of the player with whom we have done the technology tie-up, but if you give some, as you told, like this is a technology intensive, closely guarded technology. So if you can help us to give some comfort on the tie-up which you have done on the technology side, like how reliable they are, how old they are, or like some color on that, sir.
Subratoji, when we are investing such a high amount, we have done thoroughly good due diligence on the technology front. At this juncture, I won't be able to share much detail about the technology supplier. I'm sorry for that. But yes, the technology supplier which we have selected is a reliable, and they have provided this technology to other companies in different countries, and it's a proven technology.
Okay, sir, last question, like when we are talking about like commercialization from Q1 FY24, like we are expecting to start commercial production from FY24, number one, and like what is the like how much time we are expecting once we start production, how much time we are expecting to like fully ramp up the capacity?
Yes, so we are planning to do the commercial production in the Q1 of FY24. Initially, because it's a new project and the new technology, so we need to do the market development also parallelly. So we hope that in the first year we should be able to run the plant for about 50% capacity, and later on in the second and third year we should be taking it to 80 to 85% capacity utilization.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Praveen Sharma as an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Praveenji, we can hear you.
Yeah. Sir, what I could understand is basically there are 2 modes. One is the high capex requirement for TiO2, and the second is the technology, which is very technology intensive. These are the 2 broad modes which will be applicable in the titanium dioxide industry.
Correct.
Now, as raw material is very easily available, as you pointed out, the technology provider whom we have signed, do we have any kind of exclusivity at least for say for 2, 3, 4 years initially, or like if the demand supply gap is too large and everything is imported more or less and the existing suppliers are mostly PSU suppliers, then will they not sell it to somebody else, the technology, and more people will get into like what happened in the paint industry?
Yeah, Praveenji, the technology supplier with whom we have signed the contract, yes, there is a secrecy agreement, and there is a agreement for about few years where we can have a security as far as competition point of view. Now, regarding the PSU companies taking exit, I think yes, sooner or later government is doing a disinvestment from their various businesses, but currently their focus is into big companies like LIC, BPCL, and various more. So these are very, very small companies where government as of now is not focusing on. And these companies are, typically government-run company where they are not expanding, where they are not giving any technology. It's a very orthodox companies. They just stand still with whatever capacity they are manufacturing. So at this juncture, we don't see any big competition creating any problem. And if at all any competition comes, then also there is a huge gap, because there is a large import already happening, and there is a relatively good growth happening in India. So there is no issue. But we are not hearing any big company coming with the good capex in the titanium dioxide in recent time.
Okay. And sir, how will this capex be funded? Like we have a lot of redeemable convertible debentures from FineCam, money which we have to receive. So will it be used for this purpose, or how will it be funded?
Praveerji, as of now, we have a good cash reserve available with us. So for this project, what we have targeted, about 30% of our reserves will be used as an equity. 70% will be taking the debt for this project.
And this will be directly under Make Money MOL only. This will not be through subsidiary also.
So see, if at all the subsidy comes, then also it will be 100% subsidiary of Make Money Organics Limited.
Okay.
Evaluating that as well, because under the new tax regime, so there is
15%.
tax available.
So we are evaluating that.
Yeah, that was my point. So
it will be 100% subsidiary. So you can say as good as Make Money Organics Limited.
And sir, going forward, this will be our line of expansion in pigments, or because Phthalo more or less we are done, or we plan to have something there also, or this is the more or less line of expansion now?
See, the much bigger market is into titanium dioxide. So if we will settle with the first phase of expansion, we'll have a good hands-on the technology and the plant utilization. And definitely the first target would be expanding into the same segment again and again, because there is a huge opportunity.
Yeah. And my last question, sir, does TiO2 has, the market has customer stickiness like sample approval and things like that, and after that the buyer actually sticks to the vendor who supplies him, whose samples are approved, or this is more of a, less of customer stickiness, more of a commodity or specialized chemical industry is concerned?
For any pigment, quality plays a very important role. So definitely the sample approval and everything, the vendor selection from the customer side is always a proper, there is a system they follow. But it is not that they stick to the only one supplier. If they find the right quality product from different supplier, then definitely they will give priority. And as I mentioned that, in this time when the logistic supply chain is a very disturbance oriented thing, there is a 11% duty also. And if the product is readily available in the Indian market, the Indian companies will first give the priority to the Indian suppliers. That is what we believe. If we supply the right quality product with the right pricing.
Great, sir. All the best, sir. Good wishes.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to our participants, please press star and 1 if you wish to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Monica Arora from Share Giants Wealth Advisors. Please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So my first question is the new project, which is titanium dioxide project. Would it be a greenfield project or a brownfield project, brownfield expansion, sir?
Monica ji, we are evaluating both the options.
Okay. So you'll be able to update it at a later stage.
Yes, we'll be able to update it in the next few months.
Okay. And if you can tell me that the margins that we are currently having, which is around like 25% kind of a margins, is it sustainable at consolidated level?
Because it's a high capex project, normally, as you know, that in the high capex projects, the margins are relatively better. And we have done last 5 to 7 years market analysis and looking at from raw material side and as well as the market sales price point of view. And looking at our last 5 to 7 years analysis, we see that average EBITDA margin comes to about 25%.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So on console pigment level basis, because currently the pigment division, which is pigment blue and green, generates about 13 to 14% EBITDA margin. This will be high EBITDA margin product. So both put together, on an average, we expect pigment division should generate about 17 to 18% EBITDA margin.
Oh, okay. Fine. Fine. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Hemant Konungo as an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I want to know, like, since we are coming up with this project, so do we have any cost competitiveness, like as comparison to other Indian players or maybe other Chinese players, sir?
As I mentioned regarding the cost competitiveness, the key raw material, from the raw material point of view, it's a naturally occurring raw material. That is ilmenite ore. The second raw material is the sulfuric acid, which is one of the other raw materials. In Gujarat and particularly in Dahej, there are, in just about 15 kilometers radius, there are many sulfuric acid suppliers. At the same time, if we are looking at the import of ilmenite, then there is a nearby port, Hazira and all, so which is again about 60-70 kilometers from Dahej. So not too far, and so raw material availability is not an issue. Second thing, it's a relatively power intensive project. So power availability in Gujarat, because the power surplus state, there is no problem, and we'll be looking at some other options also from the power point of view, where we can have our own power to reduce the manufacturing cost further. So looking at all these factors, we believe that there will not be much problem.
Okay, sir. And secondly, sir, we are already selling pigments. So do we have this similar clients or maybe the same clients for this existing pigment, or will be a totally different set of clients, customers for this titanium dioxide, sir?
It is more or less the same set of clients. So that is why we have selected the project, because we were in touch with various of our customer base, and they were constantly telling us that this is a very good project, the demand is very good, and there is always a cycle where the shortage comes. And so they were insisting that why don't we enter into this segment. So if we just talk about the market, that from the various color like blue, green, red, orange, yellow, or about 7 types of pigment, different colors, all market put together is equal to one single white pigment. So you can imagine that how big is the product, and anything what we see white in the paint of in the house, majority of our paint base is a white paint base. In the automobile segment, car segment, the majority color what we see is a white color. So you can understand there is a huge demand. The base is always a white for any set of the shade, what we select in the house. Normally the base is a white, then they add other different shade of the pigment and make different shade of the paint. So the base is always a pigment white paint, and in the white paint the titanium dioxide will be used. So the demand is tremendous, and it is keep on going to grow. So it is a good thing for the industry.
Okay, sir. And sir, last question. Now that you have signed a commitment with an understanding with the Gujarat government, for an.
Request you please speak up a little bit because you are not audible.
I'm saying that, sir, yesterday you had signed an agreement with the Gujarat government for for an investment of 2,900 or 2,600 crores. So is this project under that commitment?
Correct.
Understanding?
So this is titanium dioxide is one of the projects what we signed under Vibrant Gujarat, which is going to take place in January. So we signed the contract in front of the Gujarat Chief Minister. We signed the MOU that we are coming with this project.
Okay. That's it for now, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to our participants, please press star and 1 if you wish to ask a question. Our next question is from the line of Gaurav from Bowhead India. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, I joined a bit late to the call, so it might be repetitive. So this project you are doing, it is under the parent company, or you are floating some subsidiary to undertake this project?
Gaurav, because the government has come up that the new manufacturing company entering into manufacturing will get 15% tax benefit.
Right.
So there is a tax advantage. So for that, we are evaluating that we will form a 100% subsidiary company of Make Money Organics Limited, and this project will come under that subsidiary company. For that, so that we'll get tax benefit.
Okay, great. And sir, besides this project, are there any other projects that we are working on which you alluded to, in Q2 call, or is this the project that you were alluding, and there are no other projects that are on our pipeline?
For the pigment division, this is going to be the key project which is in pipeline. And for the agrochemical division, the project which we have already announced about 300 crore capex for the multi-purpose plant, that is already going on. So as of now, for both the division, we have a key project in the agro about 300 crore capex, in the pigment about 400 crore capex.
Okay. And for pigments, we had a target of 1,000 crores, so this will ensure that we reach that target. So is my understanding correct, or this is over and above the 1,000 crore target?
Absolutely correct. With this kind of the capex, it will help to grow the pigment division more than 1,000 crore in top line.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Okay, sir. Thank you and all the best for this.
Thank you very much, Gaurav.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nilesh Ghuge from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Good afternoon,
Yes,
sir.
Nilesh bhai, good afternoon.
Yeah. Sir, I joined this call late, so my question may be repetitive. Sorry for that.
No problem.
Yeah. Can you tell us the current domestic production approximately of the titanium dioxide, and also how much we import? In your presentation, you mentioned that 250,000 is the current demand, and it is expected to go to 3 lakh. So how much is the current production, and how much we import?
So currently, the production in India is close to 80,000 tons.
Okay.
And the market size, what we have explained in the presentation, is about 250,000 tons. So majority of the demand is being imported in India. The import is happening from China, USA, Australia, Taiwan, various markets.
Okay. Thanks. But sir,
and the growth rate is about 4 to 4.5% annually.
Okay. But in FY19, if I look at the government figures of import of titanium dioxide, it is close to 14 to 15,000 tons per annum. I mean, is my understanding correct?
No, I don't know. I think you have got some different numbers.
Okay.
We have done the detailed analysis for the last 3 to 4 years of the import.
Okay.
And we have been getting the same number what we have informed to you. Okay. And the growth rate is quite good. At the same time in the call, I also mentioned that the big corporates like JSW and Birla family, Grasim, they are investing heavily into paints and coating segment. Grasim is coming with the 5,000 crore capex for the paint segment, which is going to be commercially start from FY23. So they have the growth in the paints and coating segment in India is approximately 10 to 15%. And the base for the paint is a titanium dioxide, is a white pigment.
Correct.
So you can understand when the large corporates, such a large corporates are investing heavily into this segment, how the growth is going to be.
Okay. So if let's assume that the current capacity is about, as you said, 85,000 tons per metric ton. With your capacity, it is still will be 110,000 kind of capacity, the domestic capacity. Still, there is a huge gap between the consumption or the demand and the production. So what are your plan? I mean, after this 33,000, are you planning to expand further, or will you wait for some time in future? for the further capex in the same?
We are growth hungry people. This is the first time we are doing new technology, new product, and such a high capex in the pigment.
Okay.
So once, I think in the first year itself, if we'll have a good confidence, then immediately we may go for the further expansion, because the growth point of view, there is no limit. You can do a lot of capex in this segment.
Because I can see, after your expansion also, there is a gap of about more than 200,000 tons. So is the capex or the funding is the problem, or the technology is the bottleneck?
So both the things are bottleneck.
But I'm not talking about the make money perspective, but the overall chemical companies in India perspective.
In general, the thing is, because in the pigment segment there are small unconventional players are there. Only few are big players like Make Money and Sudarshan.
Okay.
Otherwise, you don't find big players in this segment. So the capex is a key, as well as the technology.
Okay.
You need big land area as well, because high capex, the land requirement is also big. So looking at all this, small players cannot think of entering into this segment. So we have selected this product because we are already in pigment. Our customer base is the same. They have been insisting that why don't you enter into this segment? It's a pretty good segment. The demand is very good. So looking at this, we have selected this project. And because of the technology and the high capex, there is an entry barrier. So you can understand small players cannot enter into this segment.
Okay. And just one last question, as you touch upon this land, about the land aspect. So I'm sure you must be having the land for the current expansion. But what about the future? If you want to expand further, so is the land available, or you have to purchase further?
No, it is available because basic infrastructure remains the same. So as a Make Money, we have a policy that whenever we go for a greenfield project, we buy the sizable land. At the initial level, the capex looks little high, but in the later on stage, it helps a lot, because your other expenditure, the basic infrastructure remains the same. So that is what our philosophy is. So we have enough land bank for the future expansion even after 33,000 tons.
Okay, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone who wish to ask a question at this time, they may please press star and 1. Our next question is from the line of Subrata Sarkar from Mount Intra Finance. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, since I'm tracking your company little new, so just can you help me to understand that the OCRPS that we have given we have for Make Money Fine Chem, little bit background and what is the status? Can we liquidate it at some point of time? Because since we are thinking of investment and all those things, can we utilize that? Is there any hindrance to that? What is the situation? Because under normal circumstances, it always makes sense, since now we are two different companies, so that our operations and lending, we don't do intercorporate lending and all those things. So please some understanding on that, since I am not aware of this.
Yeah, Subrata, this is a redeemable preference share of around 210 crore, and coupon rate is 8%, which is now every year we are getting on that. And this 210 crore will be redeemed over a period, and as you know, in the Make Money Fine Chem also, so now good profitability, and they are also into the, you can say, specialty chemicals they are coming into. And as the cash flow situation improves, so they will start redeeming that 210 crore, and gradually it will come to MOL.
Okay. Sir, any timeline by what time it should be entirely redeemed? Like any timeline or anything mentioned as per the condition?
As of now, it is difficult, but otherwise timeline for that is around 20 years. That is RPS term only, but I think it will much below, actually.
Much before that.
Much before that, so that will get redeemed.
Okay. So we at least from a the strategy point of view, we at least think that we should gradually reduce it, because like the project which you have announced, as per your internal calculation, it will yield much higher than 8%. So in that case, it makes sense for us like to reinvest our capital rather than borrow, basically, from a theoretical point of view at least.
Sure. That's true. We will look into it, Subratoji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Because this create a good corporate governance also. Now, sir, you understand nowadays.
We understand. Thank you. Thank you for your suggestion.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aryan Verma. As an individual investor, please go ahead.
Hey, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
So thank you for the opportunity. I'm asking a first-time question to you. So I was reading about solar cells and solar panels recently, and I got around to reading about titanium dioxide as used in solar cells. So there was an article about that there is a potential to create low-cost solar cells using titanium dioxide. And there is potential uses in solar panels and wind turbine coating by using titanium dioxide. So do you think this can be a potential for our company or market? Do you have any view on this?
Yeah. So you're correct that, any white surface, it has got, it can transfer the light, reflect the light in a good manner. So it generates more brightness, and there are various applications for the titanium dioxide. So yes, it is being used into solar cells also. But currently, if we give you the idea, about 60% of the titanium dioxide being used is into the paints and the coating segment. About 25% it is being used into the plastic and polymer segment, and the balance 10% is into various segments. It is also used in the toothpaste. So you can.
Yes, I got that, but I was just curious about, can this be a growth opportunity, because there is still research going on. But as solar industry grows, solar cells, and this sounds like a key material or a critical application product, so to speak.
Yeah, they are working on it, and we have also heard and read the same thing. So if that happens, then the growth will be even much bigger.
Yes, thank you. That's all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Rajiv Saigal. As an individual investor, also participants, please add a *1 if you wish to ask a question. Rajiv, please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you give us an idea of the incremental revenue and profitability from the new project in the first full year of commercial production?
Yeah. So in the first year of production, we hope that the plant should run at about 50% capacity. So as we have mentioned that on the full year of operation basis, it should generate about 700 crore of the revenue. So in the first year, we expect it should generate about 350 crore revenue, and later on it will go to 750 crore.
Any idea of the contribution on the bottom line?
From this project, it will generate EBITDA margin of nearly 25%. So pigment division on an average, as of now, it's generating about 13 to 14% EBITDA. With this project coming in, it all put together, the average will be close to 17 to 18%. And ROE and ROC, return on equity and return on capital employed, for this project is 20% plus.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. A reminder to our participants, please press *1 if you wish to ask a question. Our next question is on the line of Hemant Kunungo as an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I just want to know, sir, since you're saying that there is a huge demand-supply gap in this pigment, so why is there the existing players, are not increasing their capacity, because even the EBITDA margins are fantastic. And secondly, also, sir, I've heard that there was one company called Kilburn Chemical, which was also apparently into titanium dioxide, but which is currently into NCLT. So, like, it wasn't apparently successful in this business. So, can you just give an explanation, what exactly it is like?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, there are mainly three players currently. Out of three players, two are public sector units, government companies. So you know how the government public sector unit works. So probably they are not very focused and growth-oriented company. The third player, BV Mineral, is again into various businesses, so not focusing much onto this business. That is what our analysis says. And in our con call, we have already mentioned, because of the high capex and the technology barrier, not small pigment players can think of entering into this segment. So there is a good opportunity, and we have taken the challenge, and we are entering into this project. Regarding the Kilburn Chemical, what happened, we don't know much in detail, but the only thing what we know that the project they came up was a good project, but I think they ran out of money at the end of the project. So the project did not run, the plant did not run for even 15 days. So it was a brand new plant, and they were not able to run, and the company went into NCLT.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to our participants, please press star and 1 if you wish to ask a question. Participants, if you wish to ask a question, please enter star and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, as there are no further questions from the participants, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Ankit Patel for closing comments. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you everyone for taking out your valuable time and joining us on this con call. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Make Money Organics Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.